First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Stone who rule well. And shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the help. Shalom. This is a brother Irewam from James Jamaica Camp. And I'm just coming with another quick lesson real quickly. Now the inspiration of this lesson is actually, watching a video. I've seen brothers put it up. I'm seeing the Apostle Gabar. I don't know the guy's full name. I think his name is Kevin, right? He's the guy that promotes being a high value man. Don't really know much about him, really, to be honest. I've seen brothers put up a few of his videos, plus a brother who I'm around a lot, I actually see a few of his videos as well, or a couple of his videos as well. So I will hear things, from time to time based on what's being said in the video. But there's always a recurring theme, if you will, where there's always people that have a problem with the standard that he actually, according to his standard, what he believes a high value man should be, and he was highlighting the fact that people have a problem because they see the standard, they see the mark, but they don't, because they're not at the mark, they try to change or bring into change the standard to be where they're at, right? And he's saying that, look, it's really a few, it's a small percentage of person that will actually meet the mark. Now that is based on a carnal standpoint, but it really had me thinking about the truth. The apostles and elders, they through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, they have set certain standards as it pertains to starting with GMS, those that are of the flock of GMS, but not only those, but those who truly come in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and it's actually working with that spirit, as they say time and time again, being a part of GMS won't get to see it, but what GMS is basically the standard, of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Now, as stated, same thing with guys in the world that have a problem with the standards that he set for a high value man, which we all know ultimately, if you're in the know, a high value man is actually a man of the Lord. But just to say, from a carnal standpoint, he has like a certain tax bracket that you need to be in. You have the to build a network, and I think he has about 6 steps. I don't remember, as I say, I'm not really that familiar, but this is the thing. The Apostle Tahar said, look, 3 videos a week, in regards to brothers doing them the sit downs. Him also said that ensure that you're going to camp, ensure that you're checking on brothers, and ensure that basically they always say, look, ensure that you're in the spirit. And the reason why men will have a problem with things like that is because what, as they always say, they're not on fire. Because guess what, the men of the Lord, the elect, are men that will be on fire, right? And really, if you're really thinking about being a part of the elect, as the scripture says, we put on as the elect, there is going to be a certain standard that the elect is going to have. And seeing that it's a small sanctuary and it's a small number, then you have to go fight. You have to be doing things that will actually separate you from the rest. You have to be, there's a certain standard that you need to uphold and to really get to you don't just get to call yourself an elect. You have to put on as the elect, right? I'm gonna actually find that precept after this. It wasn't in the lineup, but hey. So let me just bring on some precepts. Sorry for being so long-winded. The first precept is Luke chapter 12, starting at verse 48. It says, "But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes," meaning the unbelievers, right? For unto whom much, for the point is here, the second line, for unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. Exactly. So if you want to be a part of the elect, if you want to be a part of that number, then Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will require a lot of you. That's why you have parables like the in second Ezra to tell you about going on that narrow path, fire on one side and water on the next. Yahushua talk about his baptism being, baptized with through fire, which is basically trials. Scriptures that tell you that acceptable men, are found in the furnace of adversity. You know, there are things that you will have to endure, just like the Lord Himself, Yahushua, endured those things. Right, so there's a standard. Apostle Gabar always tell you about the rite of passage, that men of the Lord would have to go through, to put on as the elect, right? And it says, unto whom men have committed much, of him will they ask the more. And that is the thing, you want the power of the universe verse, you want the only power, you want the almighty power, Yahweh, through his son Yahweh Shai, to actually deliver you. But how hard are you going for your power? What standard are you really upholding? The standard, are you on fire? Are you not? Hey, none of us are really in a position to say that the Lord have to save us. Not of works by boasting, but that standard of faith. That is combined with works that will have you pushing. Are you in that stead? And another thing that he always highlight, that look, nothing is wrong if you are not actually at that point. However, you have to assess yourself and make sure that you start moving towards that point. So if it's a case that, hey, the apostle always say that, hey, brothers need to get the head out the mass, and that goes from me first and foremost, right? This goes from me first and foremost, just get up, do the work, push, not comparing myself to the elders or anything, but Apostle Tar said something one that, hey, doing a video a day, brother should be wanting to do a video a day, because you stay in the spirit and all of that. And I'm thinking about that, hey, some brother's spirit might not be on that level where they'll do a video every day, or some brothers, they have different offices, different spirit, and they build according to the measure of faith. However, I would like to strive to that mark, not to say that I would like to be like Apostle Tahar, but I think, through faith, I believe that Lord will actually have that portion of spirit on me. Not to say that it's easy, but I think, based on my measure, I think it's possible. And that is where the self-assessment comes in, to see, hey, look, hey, where are we, yo? Where are we in regards to what the Lord is requiring? What is the standard that we're supposed to uphold, and where are we, or how close are we to that standard? Because hey, you have to fight to get in. The scripture says, strive for the truth unto death. There's a certain spirit, there's a standard that the spirit need to be on if you're gonna put on as the elect, right? If you want to be a part of that small number, you have to work towards it. You can't be complacent, and that is the thing, being complacent in the spirit, where, oh, all right, I did my 3 videos for the week, so if I listen hit me, I'll just save it for next week. No, or hey, I'll do this lesson tomorrow, or I already did a lesson today, even though I have time now, and a lesson is coming to me right now, I can just save it for another day. No. If it is possible, as we know, everybody's spirit is different, everybody's situation is different. But if it's a case where you can, or the spirit permits it, why the hell would you sit on that, yo? And I have fallen victim to this many times. But it's all about self-examination, and actually, getting up, off our asses, yo. Right? So it says, hold on. I think I got, this is stuck. Oh my goodness. Oh, there we go. Slaki Akyum. Right. So it says, unto whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. Let me put on, let me see if I can find where it says put on as the elect. All right, this is Colossians 3 verse 12. It says, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering, forbearing one another, forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as the Hamashiach forgave you, so also do ye. Right? Now, not really. Well, that is a standard. So yeah, because one of the standards is what give it having forgiveness. But let us see what it means when it says put on as the elect. Really want to stay on point, right? All right, to skin into clothing or put on clothe oneself, right? You have to look the part. Image. Hey, how do you know a general, yo? Based on what? How he dresses. What he actually has. There are certain well, in Esau military, that is, the generals have certain badges, and they will have different uniforms. So if you want to be a part of that top tier in the spirit, then you need to put in the work and do what needs to be done. Not for clout or glory, but ultimately for salvation. You actually pushing towards the mark of salvation, being the best person that you can be in the spirit as possible, in regards to videos, in regards to reading, in regards to brotherly love, in regards to put on to camp, in regards to you managing your households. It's not, hey, the brothers always say, look, it's not about only about putting on a garment and calling Esau the devil. There are many levels to actually putting on to the elect, and that's the issue that guys have a problem with, especially guys that are not on fire. They don't understand that, look, there's a standard to be upheld. And sometimes even we lose sight of that, or I lose sight of that, where I get that complacent spirit. But we have to pray that off. We have to fast that off. We have to work it off. Right? So it's put on as the elect. Looking up the and as you can see here, the word elect, pick out, select your chosen, right? Chosen by God to obtain salvation through Hamashiach, right? It says the Messiah is called elect as appointed by God to the most exalted office conceivable. And if we're going to be joint heirs, then we are part of that the most exalted office. Therefore, we need to be a different caliber of men, which means that we have different rules and different standards that we go by. And if you're anything short of that, then it's not going to work. Now, once again, it's ultimately as Paul said, I shew my faith by my works. Not to say that you will be delivered of works, but it's faith through works. Or should I say work through faith? Basically using your showing your faith by your works. Let me say it like that. Right? It says choice, select. It says the best of its kind or class. Excellence, preeminent. Applied to certain individual Christians, meaning what? Men of the Lord. Right? Let me see if there's any commentary or anything that I can pick up out of this. Right? Hey, it's a special class of men, yo. Right, going down, it says those who have become true partakers of the Christian salvation are contrasted with those who have been invited but who have not shown themselves fitted to obtain it. Right? Others regard the called and the chosen here as alike partakers of salvation, but the latter as the choice ones. Right? Distinguished above the former. Right? Finally, those are called who are destined for salvation but have not yet been brought to it. Right? And I think up here actually exactly the point. Let me just read it again real quickly. It says those who have become true partakers of the Christian salvation are contrasted with those who have been invited but who have not shown themselves fitted to obtain. Right? And that is why Apostle Tar have been saying for years that, hey, some men are just not on fire. Right? Because it's shown. right? Not to get puffed up with wisdom, not to be puffed up because you're being seen, but because you're sincerely pushing towards that mark, right? Let me actually get also many are called, but few are chosen. Hey, I haven't even gotten the precepts that I wanted to get, but hey, just rolling with the spirit, right? I'll get them very shortly, but I'm just rolling with the spirit right now. Let me just change this up. Many are called. There we go. Right? So this is Matthew 22 verse 14. It says, for many are called, but few are chosen. Right? As a matter of fact, this is what about the wedding. You know, as it say, some had vineyards, the first that he called, and also it says put on as the elect, and tell you that to be clothed. And as you can see right here, down here, it says, and when the well, for those in the interest of time, I advise brothers reading the parable once more. Matthew 22, starting at 1 to verse 14. Right, not going to go through all of it now, but as you know, the first set this said that um they called them, they didn't come, and then you even had, and then it goes down to the part with the garment, right? So verse 11 says, and when the king came in to see the guest, right, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. He did not put on as the elect, right? And he said unto him, friend, how camest thou hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth, for many are called, but few are chosen. Right? So many people want to attempt the feat, but they don't actually hold out to the end. They don't push towards that mark. Right? They don't push to actually hold up all that standard. Right? This is the word called. It says invited to a banquet, invited by God in proclamation of the gospel to obtain eternal salvation in the kingdom through Hamashiach. Right? Divinely selected and appointed. So they were invited. Right? They were invited. Right? Let me see what word is there for chosen. Same eklektos. Or electos, sorry. Eklektos, Slakia Akyo. Right? So many are called, but few are chosen. Right? Now, let me get this down, the precepts that I originally wanted to get. First one being 1 Corinthians 9. Right? 1 Corinthians 9 verse 24, knowing not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize, so run that ye may obtain. Right? So let me just look up the word prize, and let's look up the word obtain. So let me just look at the word run. It says B says by a doctrine rapidly propagated. Isn't that teaching? Isn't that pushing the names of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai? Right? It says by a metaphor taken from runners in a race, to exert oneself, strive hard. Right? To spend one's strength in performing or attaining something. All of this goes back to our preaching. Right? So the word occurs in Greek writings denoting to incur extreme peril, which it requires the exertion of all one's effort to overcome. Exactly. That's why Yahweh said that he that searcheth for his life shall lose it, but he that loseth he that saveth his life shall lose it, but he that loseth his life for my name's sake shall obtain life everlasting. Exactly. Right? All these words denote that, look, if you want to do it, you definitely have to uphold the standards. Right? Just was checking on that real quickly. Right? It says, but one receiveth the prize. Right? It says the heavenly reward of Christian character, which it all goes back to character, but ultimately the salvation of the salvation that is obtained through Yahweh Shai, right? Because that is what we're actually running towards. We want to be a part of that number. But if you want to be a part of that number, then you need to do what those men are doing. Right? This is the word obtain. It says to lay hold of. Right? To lay hold of lay hold of so as to make one's own, to obtain, to attain, to make one's own, to take into oneself appropriate. Right? So that is what you want to do. You want to definitely take hold of it. Right? The root goes back to what? To take with the hand, to lay hold of any person or thing in order to use it. Right? To take upon oneself. To claim, to procure for oneself. You want to claim salvation, you want to take it. Right? To take to oneself, to lay hold upon, to take possession of. Right? To take, to choose, to select. It says to take, beginning, to prove anything, to make a trial of, experience, to receive what is given, to gain, get, obtain, to get back. And this is all boiling down what? To the truth. Right? So once again, right? Where am I? Verse 24 says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain. Exactly. Run that ye may obtain. Right? Just two more precepts that I'm out. This is Philippians 3 starting at verse 12. It says, not as though I already attain, neither were already perfect, because after a while, when we start understand the breakdowns and you start get the scriptures, men tend to get comfortable and start acting as if we're not still in Babylon. Like we don't still have to push towards the mark. It's like you get some knowledge and then I've made it. I have now made it. No, you get the knowledge so you can push and keep on pushing until the end. Right? This is what I follow after, if that I may apprehend that for which also I am apprehended of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended. Exactly, we're not in the kingdom of as yet. So why is it that we should act as if we have already apprehended? But this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before. Exactly. You doing a video last week or yesterday or 5 minutes ago doesn't count for anything. What counts is what? The present and also the future. Because what? We're still here. We're not in the kingdom as yet. So if a video come to or something coming to mind, or what you can do in regards to the upholding the standards in this very moment and time, get it done. Stay, that is also a part of staying in the spirit. Now, granted, not saying that brothers should burn themselves out, but every brother is supposed to examine themselves and know have an idea what measure the Lord give you that spirit. And if you don't know, ask Him for the spirit where you can identify, what your office is, and also, how much measure of the spirit that you get, and you perform accordingly. Right? It says, I press towards the mark of the prize of the high calling of the Most High in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Right? And let's look up the two words here. Which is press, to make, to run, to flee. Now the key point here, it says to press on figuratively of one who is in a race run swiftly to reach the goal. We know what the goal is. The goal is salvation, right? Metaphorically, to pursue, to seek after eagerly, earnestly, endeavor to acquire. So you have to push. You have to be doing what everybody else is not doing. You have to push towards the mark. Looking up the word mark here, the second definition says a distant mark looked at, the goal or end one has in view. So we know what the goal is. The goal is salvation. And the way that we're running is by preaching and pushing this doctrine. Right? Looking up this word calling, and it says calling, to call, invitation. Right? To the divine invitation of embrace salvation of God. So you are called. We are all called, right? But the chosen is not yet. Therefore, what we're supposed to press as it says press towards the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Yahushua Mashiach. Right? That's what we're supposed to be doing. Now the final precept. Let's get it and close out. Right? 2 Peter 1 verse 10. It says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fail. Ye shall never fall, Slakia. For so an entrance shall be ministered unto you abundantly in the everlasting kingdom of our Lord and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach. Right? So you push towards that mark here. If you want to be an elect, if you want to be that high value, if you want to be a part of the class that is the best of the best, if you want to separate yourself from all those who are called, by upholding, the standards of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, giving it your all, right, to overcome, then get to work, in all aspect, not only with doing videos, that's one of the main things. That's why I said that, but all things unto edifying, doing your edifying videos, being an edifying example, doing all things to the praise, honor, and glory of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, showing forth your faith through those righteous works, right? Peradventure we are then chosen. But as it says here, if you give diligence to make your calling and election sure by doing all these things, then it's sure. Calling and election will be sure, and you shall never fall. So really hope this was edifying. Hope this was exhorting. Once again, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing. Salakia. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom.